Yome and Kisumu Central Police Station OCPD Christopher Mutune are among those who have been lined up to testify at the magistrate's court in Kisumu in the ongoing inquest into the death of baby Samatha Pendo. The 6-month-old Pendo succumbed to injuries allegedly from police brutality meted on her at their one-room house in Nyalenda slum in August last year, following the opposition post-poll protests. This is one of the stories that KTN News is really focusing on, and I want now to bring on my colleague Kevin Ugutu joining us from Kisumu. Kevin, thank you for joining us. Just let's talk about the kind of facts that came out in the last session of the inquiry, which was about 11th of June there. What are some of the facts and the leads that came out, and what are we expecting today?
A very good morning, Betty. Actually, this is an inquest that started officially on the 19th of February this year, where the parents of the late Baby Samatha Pendo made their testimonies right in this court before Magistrate Beryl Omollo. So talking about this particular inquest, as you mentioned, we expect those key figures in security, that is the former county commander for Kisumu and the former Kisumu Central OCPD to make their testimonies today. This is actually something that was supposed to happen on Friday last week, but while making his testimony, the AP commander for Kisumu Central, Benjamin Kogei, said that he wasn't aware of the operational order that was before court. Remember, operational order is what actually contains how the security arrangement is supposed to be made, who each police officers are supposed to be at what point, who is supposed to be commanding them, and etc. So for a AP commander for a whole sub-county to say that he wasn't aware of such a document, it forced now the court to adjourn to today, whereby now he's supposed to familiarize the court with what kind of orders he was following, because he said he got instructions from the deputy IG on how he was supposed to beef up security before and after elections. So probably we may need to mention some of the key people who've made their testimonies before this court with regard to this particular inquest into the death of baby Samantha Pendo. One of them being, of course, the mother who said she was in her hands when the police officers stormed into their one-room house in Nyalenda, and the father who was also present at that time. And also we have the testimony from the government pathologist, Dr. Dickson Mchana, who say that the baby died from internal bleeding, which was occasioned by a blunt object. This was also supported by Dr. Oula from Aga Khan, who said the same while testifying before this court. So that together with, and then lastly, before I forget, Betty, we also had one Lina Kogei, who is the AP police post for Nyalenda, police post command for Nyalenda police post. This is one area where this particular house where baby Samantha was, this is one area which is very close to this particular police post. So she also made her testimony here on Friday. So as you mentioned, today we expect these two figures to make their testimonies, and this is in a bid to actually point to who was actually responsible for this particular brutal force that was meted on this 6-month-old. Remember, the parents could not identify which police officer because apparently they were putting on the same. So the inquest is trying to narrow down to who was responsible. If at all it was a police officer, then who was responsible. And from these testimonies, they expect that they will arrive at that, or probably we'll see what court, how it goes in this particular court, Betty.
A pointer to that, how long are we expecting this inquest to go on for?
It's not clear how long it will take because we still have, like, one particular person making testimony is being asked questions, being grilled by lawyers from the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, and we even have a Law Society of Kenya a lawyer right here. So actually one particular person making testimony will take like 2 hours. So today we expect 3, and probably, hopefully, they will be done today, or if not, then it will go on up to tomorrow or the day after. So right now, Betty, it's not quite clear how long this particular exercise is going to take.
All right, Kevin Ogutu there reporting from Kisumu, and of course he's covering the inquest which continues into baby Samantha Pendo's death. Remember that she succumbed to injuries allegedly from police brutality, and there has been that inquest that has been ongoing for some time now, and he's going to be covering that for us here on KTN News. For now, though, I want to go back to our top story this morning, and of course it has everything to do with that Orange Democratic Movement, of course putting its house in order, and it's happening